You remember about a year ago, a young lady from Australia named Stephanie came by to visit you?
Yes.
She's here again this year and she wanted to come in and say hi.
Oh, bring her up.
And her grandmother.
Oh, okay.
This is how we knew her through her grandmother.
Okay. Yes. All right. I will. Charles, I'll meet you in the state in the back. Just give me a few minutes. Hi. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And who is with you?
This is my Nana.
Oh, hi, Nana. Hi. So she was here last time. She's actually from Australia.
Yes.
Yes. And she came to see the court process. And John, you're making sure she gets an idea of how things are done here.
I've tried to do that. She's decided not to become a lawyer since she's gone back. She is in the university now and she's engaged.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? Depending on where the wedding takes place, I know weddings are expensive, but if anybody sends me an invitation, I will come.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God.
I
I've
will.
tried to get her to come to my magnolia tree for 5 years.
Oh, yeah, I know he has. But it is great seeing you. And thanks for coming down.
Very much.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did I hear that you were getting married? No?
No, no,
No.
no.
Okay.
We shall. Oh, wait a minute. It is with Neil Calfison are engaged.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, madam.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. You entered a plea of no contest on October 11th. The state waived count 1. They proceeded on count 2 only. You applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment must be assessed at 4 years in the prison, and the state is remaining silent on your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense? Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client? And I think the first thing that needs to be addressed from the court standpoint is the acknowledgement or guilt or not acknowledgement of guilt that it says in there.
Right.
All right. So yes, the state is silent. So you may begin, counsel.
Regarding his acknowledgement and acceptance of responsibility, he unequivocally accepts responsibility for that behavior that he's performing today. Number 1. Number 2, he is willing to accept the fact that he has issues regarding drugs and the use of drugs. He has, needless to say, been in denial for most, if not all, of his life, that he does not. The fact of the matter is, Judge, that he lost his father to prison when he was 2 years of age. He's now 32. His father is still in prison to this day. He lost his mother to a drug overdose, and he was raised by CPS. He has never had a psychological evaluation in his life. He has never been on medication for any of the issues that were caused by abandonment and by basically roaming the country. He wants to change his life. As the pre-sentence investigation said, he is, I think they use the term, he's just about there to accept responsibility and to receive and accept help. If you should place him on probation, Judge, I'm asking that you order a psych eval, because I do believe that my client is suffering from illnesses that have never, ever been treated or been diagnosed.
But you believe he's competent?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No doubt. My client is an intelligent person. For the very, very weak and almost non-existent formal education he's received. He's, I find him to be way beyond his educational years as far as his intellect. So he stands before you, asking you to consider his applications, either one, as the court may see fit, but that he brought some documents as proof that he's not a loser, and that he has done things to his credit, which I'll ask him to mention to the court if that's possible.
Yes, and I can tell you this, everybody who appears before me,
Mhm.
and what they've done, I never consider anybody a loser or anybody a throwaway. Some people have made bad decisions in their life and there are consequences for that, but I don't see people as losers.
Right.
All right, yes.
Good afternoon, first of all.
Good afternoon.
So, Your Honor, I had a messed up childhood, period. I was in CPS since I was 9 years old. If you only knew the amount of stuff in CPS that happens.
I do.
So of course I had a totally messed up childhood. I'm not making an excuse for that, but as I grew up, little by little, of course I was crazy. I was stupid doing
Okay,
everything.
and let me stop you for a little bit because I need to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear a firm testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand and you can continue.
Okay, so yeah, as I grew up, I was wild. I was stupid, making a lot of crazy decisions. So yes, I did mess up. I still have cases that are pending or whatever.
Mhm.
All that is by one specific officer. It's not like I messed up and messed up and messed up. No, it's all by one specific gentleman. He just put different words. But since then, I used to live with somebody. Now I have my own house. I have a copy of my whole lease. I have all of my check stubs from my employment. I even have business cards now. I'm a certified mortgage inspector.
Okay.
All the bond I paid $14,000 total in bond. Good. I don't owe anything else. I paid pre-trial in full. I actually have a credit on pre-trial. So I'm good now. Like I have everything going for myself now. Back then, of course, I was stupid. I'm like, okay, come on, But dude, now I have everything that I have going. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but you want to know if I'm catching what you're saying.
Are you catching what I'm saying?
Yes, I am. I caught it.
So I admit I need help. Help, like therapy. Yeah, that's the help I need. I don't need help going to prison.
Nobody
That's-
thinks they need to go to prison, though.
Yes, ma'am. You're right.
Even people who commit murder, they will always say, I don't need to go to prison for murder.
Yeah, but therapy, like I want help me out with my head. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But yeah, that's all I ask. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for everything every time.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah.
All right. So you're over 30,
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
32.
32. I'm going to tell you what I would always tell people that I would represent in Child Protective Services, because I know the government is not in the business of raising children. And 9 times out of 10, the government doesn't do well at raising children. Parents are supposed to be raising their children and they're not. But I'm going to tell you this. Every tub got to sit on its own bottom. You know what that means?
Not really.
All right. Let me tell you what that means, because my grandmother would say that to us all the time. This is what it means. At some point, your bad life that your parents gave you or that somebody else gave you, you can no longer blame it on them. At some point, you sit on your own bottom.
Correct.
Imagine yourself a tub. You got to sit on your own bottom. So at some point, the decisions you are making, you can't say, I'm making these decisions because of my childhood,
Correct.
because you are now in your 30s
Yes.
and you know what the law is. You know what you should not be doing.
Yes.
So you're going to have to stop doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
For example, you need to start being negative for all drugs.
Yes.
Unless it's a prescription, you shouldn't be turning up positive for it.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you do, you're not doing well. You
Yes, ma'am.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're coming to me, asking me to grant you probation or either deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
All right. So if I were to grant you deferred adjudication, you're looking at the full range of prison if you mess up on it.
Correct.
If I were to grant you regular probation, the most I could sentence you to if you were to mess up would be 4 years. So I'm going to give you the treatment that you say you need, but right now I'm going to give you a choice.
Yes,
Here's your choice. I can grant your application for deferred adjudication. The good thing about deferred adjudication is it's not a conviction on your record, but anybody will be able to see that you're on deferred adjudication for this.
Correct.
Now, if I grant that and you are unsuccessful, then you're potentially looking at 20 years in prison.
Correct.
Or you can have a conviction. If I give you a conviction and you mess up on it, the most I could sentence you to would be 4 years in the prison. You're saying yes, so which would you prefer?
The latter, please.
What,
The
the 4
second.
years?
Yes, ma'am. That's with the probation.
That's
If
where
I
you have a
mess up.
conviction, and if you mess up, the most you could get is 4 years. But there are issues that come with a conviction, and I'm sure your attorney can tell you that. So you want to talk to him about whether he,
We have already discussed
So-
the difference, and Your Honor, that's why I left it up to you when I said, you know, obviously it's your decision, but in the event that you did not grant deferral, of course, he wanted to ask you for probation. And,
oh no, sometimes I give people choices.
as today, his choice would be, and we discussed it, is straight probation.
Okay.
Correct, Your Honor. No.
Will that affect your job? I hope, are you licensed by the state?
Correct, yes.
Will it not affect your job if you're licensed by the state?
Mhm.
You may need to have deferred.
No, jobs are so easy to come by now. If you want something, you're gonna get it.
Okay, well, you tell people, jobs are so easy to come by, everybody. So when people come in here saying they can't find employment, they're
That's an
just not
excuse.
looking. That's
Go be a go-getter. That's how I've been. Go get a damn job, period.
okay.
You
Thank
know?
you.
Sorry.
All right. So here's the thing. What I can tell you, because I would have clients that would come to me. I even had somebody who was trying to be a nurse. They had went to nursing school and they came to me after the fact and they say, hey, I have this theft case and they're not giving me my license because of this theft case. Can I get it expunged? Can I get it off? And I had to tell her, I'm sorry, you can't. You'll just have to get some people to write letters for you and maybe nursing will allow you to still have your license. So in the state of Texas and usually in other states as well, anything that requires a license, they run a background check on your criminal history. And if there is criminal history, I'm not saying it's impossible to get your license, but it's extremely difficult. I just went to felony drug court graduation. Someone has long history. They successfully graduated. And guess what? They are now a licensed attorney, but they had to have everything in order and make sure they were on a straight and narrow.
Correct.
So here's your choice. The 4 years, the probation, where the most you can get is 4 years, or either deferred adjudication. Which would you prefer?
I would pick probation, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated. What are you requesting?
4 years.
All right. Because of his history, I'm going to place him on for 5 years.
Okay.
All right. So 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. If he completes everything, I'll consider early termination.
Are you gonna be here in 2.5 years?
We shall
Good
see.
question, you know, that is.
We shall see. God willing, and the creek don't rise. So whether I'm here or not depends on things that are not in my control. All right. And your attorney knows what I mean.
Hey, question, 2 things. One is the ankle
Oh,
monitor.
excuse me. We're not done here.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. See, that's why you should make sure you're clean and sober. Okay.
Sorry. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So it's a $500 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days.
Yes, right here.
There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am, sure don't.
Okay. there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs. If you could do a MIC evaluation, and I will tell you on the TAP evaluation, it doesn't mention what he's positive for today on there. So there probably needs to be an updated TAP for that, or either can I just order what I want to order? All right, so we're going to do intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And I'll do a referral to felony drug court. Felony drug court will be able to help him because they have a dual diagnosis program.
Good.
So they'll be able to help him with any trauma. The only thing, there may be a waiting list because they haven't had their graduation yet. So if you want to talk to them and see, they may be able to accept him.
Okay.
But they'll only accept him one if he lives in Bexar County. If he's not in Bexar County, they won't accept him.
Are you there?
Yes.
All right, so we'll do intensive outpatient treatment with probation, felony drug court. I'm gonna ask for 90 sober meetings in 90 days. They do have those online now,
Nice.
and they also have them throughout the city.
Nice.
And gonna do field visits one time per month until he is in treatment. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Community service hours?
Your Honor, maybe 7 hours.
200 hours community service restitution. If you obtain a higher level education, because I see you have some college or
Yes, ma'am.
some type of licensing,
Correct.
then the court will consider the community service hours satisfied.
Nice. Thank you.
Is there anything else? Probation?
Your Honor, did you said regular UAs?
Yes, regular random UAs.
Nothing else.
All right, and with the UAs, if you wish to do it by a patch, you can do a patch. The patch, they put it on you, and that way you don't have to come down to probation for certain things, and then they will take it off.
Nice.
Everything is very nice with you today. All right, that's so 80s, but okay. Is there anything else that you need from the
That's why
court?
I think he needs a psychological evaluation.
Yeah, okay.
No, ma'am, but as I've said before, side note, I love how you're always kind of like me, like you're just happy, holly jolly.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did anybody want to address the GPS? He says he's on GPS.
Yes, he is, Judge. And he has inspections where?
All over the Bexar County, Medina County, Wilson County, like all over. She allowed me.
He makes a very good living, Judge, but this,
Well, I tell you what, this is what I'll do. Since he makes a good living and it seems that he can afford the GPS, we will do GPS tracking only. And once the mental health issues are addressed, and once he's in the intensive outpatient treatment, once he's started that, then the court will consider removal.
And Judge, I don't know for certain, but he has several NIMAG pending cases that I don't know if that's associated with that GPS.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep the GPS.
your probation officer will put you in all
Okay.
these programs.
Okay, cool beans.
Sorry.
Yes, we're going to keep the GPS.
Tracking only, Judge?
Yes. Can we do tracking or would you suggest not?
The GPS is through pretrial?
Oh, yes. And it was for this case, the 4200.
Okay.
All right. Well, he can afford
Correct.
he said he can afford GPS.
So what will happen is that monitor will be removed and then we'll have to get another monitor.
All right. So you're going to be on GPS, but once you're in his mental health classes and once he's in intensive outpatient treatment, you can always come back. And if he's doing well on it, I would strongly consider removing it. All right. Is there anything else you need?
Thank you, Your Honor. No, ma'am.
All right. So in this court, communication is key if you want to be successful on probation.
Yes.
If there's an issue, talk to probation. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can come to court.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you, Your Honor.
All right. You're welcome. Okay. All right. So everyone, we have someone who is going to be admitted to the bar. So attorney, she's got it. And so she's asked for me to swear in. He's actually been to this court before to see all of the different moving parts that's been going on. So I'm honored to swear her in, and she's actually going to be practicing in Minnesota,
No, I'm gonna federal here in San Antonio.
federal here and here, but yeah, so she's staying here because of you guys.
Yes.
All right, so this is Miss Crawford. If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Oh, and don't worry. Oh, sure. And don't worry. Norma's getting us some heavy stock
Okay.
paper, so it will be beautiful for you. All right. So. All right. If you can raise, you can place your left hand on Bible.
My grandma's Bible.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. All right. If you'll repeat after me, I, Karen Fraser Crawford,
I, Karen Fraser Crawford,
do swear
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that of the state of Minnesota,
and that of the state of Minnesota,
and will conduct myself
and will conduct myself
as an attorney
as an attorney
and counselor at law
and counselor at law
in an upright
in an upright
and courteous manner
and courteous manner,
to the best of my learning
to the best of my learning
and ability,
and ability,
with all good fidelity,
with all good fidelity,
as well as to the court,
as well as to the court,
as to a client,
as to a client,
and that I will use no falsehood
and that I will use no falsehood
or deceit,
or deceit,
nor delay
nor delay
any person's cause
any person's cause
for malice,
for malice,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sure. Oh, she'll take it. Oh, good meeting you. And her husband is here.
All right.
42 years we've been here.
42-year anniversary. So because she's been with her husband for 42 years, you all know she has a lot of patience and she's gonna be a great attorney.
All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3.